Hello, Taurus. Welcome to a timeless Justice for Taurus reading, where we discuss however the energies of justice would like to disclose themselves via one of the sister energies that I read for, which on this channel is for Sekhmet. Bear in mind that in doing so, her delivery is of the highest vibrational form in respect to the message at hand. However, you, the listener, may find that the energy is to be either merciful or merciless. And bear in mind, it is still, however, in honor of, again, the highest vibrational form of disclosure. Bear in mind that whatever brings you here is in true form of the reading, whether or not you are attracted to the title of being a Taurus in any shape or form associated to you or not. Bear in mind that I am 7th, aka Master 7th. I reads these energies for you, should you want to know who and what I am. The description box below will have more information for you, as well as access some way or another to my newly formed website, which you can utilize to find out more information or book any services that I offer. The description box below will also have information for you on how to travel to my sister channel, because like I mentioned, this is one of two that I run. So the description box will have links on how to get to her. If for some reason you seek or you find it attractive when I say you may be in search of emotional redemption, then definitely consider checking out the sister channel. Again, I am 7th, aka Master 7th, that reads these energies for you. I am a master healer that provides remote wellness, alignments, and tarot intuitive insights. Okay? Justice for Taurus reading. Bear in mind that you have tapped into a collective reading that I'm holding as 7th. This is not a personal one-to-one connection that you and I have allotted time for, so it is important that you take your discernment with all the bits and pieces that are attractive to you within the reading with you, and leave anything behind with the reading that may not have been to your liking. And lastly, in honor of the reading, feminine and masculine energies are non-gender specific. However, femininity is feminine and masculine. Masculinity is also feminine and masculine. All right, Taurus. Yeah. All right. King of Swords here with the Ten of Swords. Sun, Star, King of Wands. So you see or know what I am interpreting. Okay, so you need to be a bit more mindful where you take your unhealed self. All right, if you're not going to give yourself some much needed respect of isolation and regeneration as possible, then you need to at least be a bit more smarter and making more rational decisions for the profits that you've accrued already for this time. Because if you don't, this mess of going, continuing the journey more or less unmarked with choosing healing perspective in one way or another is going to backfire. I see these two kings being the justice of your both feminine and masculine energy, where the feminine energy of yourself, which is also feminine and masculine, okay, is the one that is the trendsetter of all the things and the successes that you put your mind to, because in literal forms you have an amazing mental aptitude. Now it's about also aligning your emotional aptitude with your successes, where the masculine energy that shows up to the successes that your intuition of femininity has brought itself to has up to this point reaped successes, lots of failures, but they come with honoring the successes that are also in limelight, or to come if you feel like you haven't been as successful. There are frequencies of plus and minuses within this journey to feel the complete value of also your masculine side of all the trials and tribulations showing up to them, denomination, and having some sort of assets, pluses or minuses or whatever. That's that King of Wands energy, more masculine than not, especially in this reading, where these two energies are not eye to eye. They're not equally looking at each other and feeling that they can regenerate off of one another. They feel better separate, okay? They feel, however, also not separate but equal. It is still a seesaw within themselves independently, and that's a problem, and that's creating an internal chaos, where that internal chaos could be as quote-unquote simple, or that simplicity might to someone might be a very traumatic might be very traumatic for another person, okay? So I'm not saying simple to oversimplify. I'm saying that the situation is sensitive, and that sensitivity is coming up a lot more during the moments where you are meant to be alone, like you are sitting on a toilet alone. Maybe spending too much time there gives you anxiety, so you get up and you tend to your business, right? Or you shower, you don't want to spend too long there, maybe naturally known to you or not, without, you know, allowing yourself to go into far off thoughts. Same thing with sleep. You know, being so busy till the day that the body is like, fuck off thinking, and just goes to sleep, you know? Like, there are things that you're automatically doing here to overrun the possibility of needing to show up to your emotional self, and that's going to come and bite you in the motherfucking ass if you don't recognize a familiarity, if this sounds resonance, if this is resonating with you, and come to terms with disciplining that type of chaos, okay? Because the adult life is one thing. Showing up to the internal child that keeps your adult functioning is what's being not made clear of. It's not healthy, and the adult version is very abusive right now to its inner child, and that is a problem, okay? It's a problem. So however that is in relation to you, it is important to at least in some form or fashion be around energies that can emanate their own energy, and it be a regenerative quality of time spent with them. If you're not going to go digging a bit deeper and maybe come to me for a personal one-to-one, and we kind of finagle it from there, okay? But yeah, there has to be some accountability here to this very loud elephant in the room that you're denying, which is denial. There is some sexual traumas for some, and some percentage of the people or person listening to this reading will possibly remember a traumatic sexual encounter in their life that is responsible for putting so much chaos to a natural fight or flight response. So if that resonates, feel at least somewhat secure that if this message was random or coincidentally resonates with you and you're not sure, or however, it's in true safety of either exploring more or healthfully moving forward and not knowing. Okay, this is an honor to also accept that you don't always have to go digging very intricate in details and go mind hunting crazy and try to convince yourself of something whether it happened or not. Like, we don't have to go that neurotically intricate in this situation, but we must honor the navigational absorption of interest, that the intuition from where I am interpreting and what's coming to me and vice versa would like to allude to. We have to give respect of that symbolism. All right, so please be mindful and how quite literally naked you show up to that message. All right. Yeah, High Priestess, okay? She just kind of stamps everything that I just said, all right? For Pentacles, Jesus. It's funny. Pentacles have been slipping through as like a glitch, which is very interesting. Four of Cups. So this is where I think part of maybe a little bit symbolically here with this glitch, the High Priestess is saying, you know, you kind of have to let go of the weird things in life. That, like, weird things happen and they also have an honor to them, okay? We kind of learn to accept those things that are at random once we focus in as a reader that we're reading and we've begun. So anything like a whistle or like a ticking or like a stomach turning is part of an honor to disclose information, right? So that is at pure mastery for knowing nothing about the language and also interpretation, because that is secular. That is where you are on your own making that decision for yourself, which is honestly like amazing. That's amazing to have that autonomy. Yeah? Look at that. The Fool and the Queen of Swords. Your relationship to your connection of what is has to only make sense to someone, and that someone is you. And that one is you, and some is however some you give to the one, which is your only responsibility. And everything else, which is then shared, is a gift, is a gratitude, is a compassion and love affair, right? With, yeah, it's just a love affair, and it's a beautiful one. It's human. All right. All right. Yeah. Death card here with the Nine of Pentacles. So yeah, I think that here is tied in with the glitch I said with the Four of Cups here, where I said Pentacles after the High Priestess, where she's kind of stamping shit, and she stamps things however she wants to stamp them. So everything is not a coincidence. It is to an absolute respect of pure authenticity and acceptance of chaos, is that we must accept shit and our awareness of the shit processing, and that there's some wisdom to understand that that shit is happening in the first place, okay? So that is a newfound way to accept that the light of Sekhmet in resonating with this message has to come with an acceptance of at least a denomination of triggering it in this aspect, her sister energy, which is aka shadow, all right? You incorporate your shadow, my boo-boo, my sunshine, my little rainbow, my little sun, moon, and star. That is their own responsibility. But if you go in too much into the sun's liking and you will not accept what all is required for the sun to be, as delicious as he or she may be for you, well, you have a problem. You must be humbled. Some call it isolation. Some kind of call it, you know, fear and literal death in certain aspects that are just not tasteful and very, very, very humbling in the slightest, because some of the massive mystery that comes with that, boy, do we have some unanswered questions attached to that possibility too, right? So darkness is not dark. It's an inevitability. It's inevitability. And sometimes it challenges us cognitively, only because we don't have whatever we may need in order to talk about it with confidence. And so Sekhmet energy is saying, well, find the stages of your emotional redemption, and then you have a better understanding of what your shadow is, and then meet thy maker, because thy maker is you, including your shadows. Okay? Your shadow is in absolute responsibility as to why you love the things that we're going to define as in the light. But if you're only going to dance in the light and forget to look at your shadow and give your shadow some goddamn credit, the shadow is going to fuck you up. It's going to fuck you up. It's going to fuck you up. I'm telling you, it's going to fuck you up. So, you know, don't let that happen. Don't let it happen. Taurus, if you feel a little bit triggered by that, go check out the fucking Justice for Virgo reading. All right? Because, no. Y'all been dancing with a lot of vibration of Mother Nature to come with me for goddamn excuses. if, ands, and buts do not imply here. Some of y'all need to accept that you will not be able to apologize to that person that you want to apologize to. All right, Sarah's nurture. We have Capricorn persistence and Saturn boundaries. Alright, with that being said, take in all these colors, hues, symbolisms, however they want to match with you, resonate with you, and all that jazz. That being said, I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in this ether of time and space. And may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.